Arvind, audio and video clear ah irukka?
Sir, it's clear, sir. Continue. Clear irukku.
Thank you.
Okay.
Arvind? Okay. Dear friends, good morning. Am I audible?
சரி சரி அப்படியே ஒரே நிமிஷம் லைன்லயே இருப்பாப்ப ஒரே நிமிஷம் லைன்லயே இரு ஒரே நிமிஷம் சத்யா சத்யா குட் மார்னிங் சத்யா
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
வந்துட்டு பேசுறேன் இவன் நம்ம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பேட்ச் எடுத்தோம் இல்லைங்களா மே 18th பேட்ச்
ஆமா சார்.
அந்த பேட்ச் தான் இது.
ஓகே, அதுவே வந்து செகண்டா பிரிச்சிருக்கோம் இல்லீங்களா?
ஆமா இது வந்து ரெண்டா பிரிச்சிருக்கோம்.
ஓகே, இல்ல
உங்களுக்கு
have been informed by Chandru sir. Okay. Fine. Now I hope that all of you belong to the first batch, okay, and you have been converted to the second batch as of now. Okay, am I correct? Is there any other students from any other batch 3, 4, 5 like that? No. So all of you from batch 1. Okay, batch 1. Thank you. Okay, many of you are responding. Thank you. Okay, so all of you are from batch 1. Okay, so we can straight away start. So we have done till justice. Okay, so what is justice? Justice is giving what is due to an individual. We have seen, and there are 3 dimensions of justice. What are the 3 dimensions of justice? Political, economical, and social justice. Okay, and we are getting some messages that they belong to batch 2. Okay, batch 2 is converted into batch 4, is it? Prasanna Venkatesh, can you speak to me? Can you hand raise and speak to me so that I can get clarity? Prasanna Venkatesh, you are saying that you are from batch 2. Yeah, now it is batch 2. Yes, Swati, now it is batch 2. So I just wanted to clarify whether earlier there was one batch 2, they have been converted to batch 4. So let us use the present number. Any batch 4 students here? No, is it? Okay, fine. So yeah, I got it. Okay, so many of you have texted and clarified me. Thanks all of you, okay, for your kindness, for informing me. Okay, thank you. So now justice has 3 dimensions, we know. They are political, economic, and social justice. Okay, so what is political justice? Political justice very good. Right to vote, equal voting rights. Okay, right to stand in the election. Very good. Okay, equal legislation for all. Very good. Okay, but what is the difference between political democracy and political justice? For political justice as well as okay. So in case of democracy, democracy is a process, whereas justice is the end. Both political democracy and political justice, the same meaning. Yes, very good. Democracy is the means, justice is the end. Okay. So democracy is the assurance given, justice is ensuring that insurance of that assurance or ensuring that it is given. Very good. So when the government promises something, when the government is telling that everybody will get all the benefits, it's democracy. Ensuring it will be justice. In case if the government is not giving a particular benefit to a group, or an individual injustice has been committed. And as we discussed in the previous class, justice is absence of, or justice is best understood in its absence. Okay, justice is best understood in its absence. Okay, fine. So we have done with equality, liberty, and justice. Today, let us talk about unity and integrity, dignity of the individual. Okay, fine. So fraternity is also there. First, we will see all these meanings of these things. Then we will come to that. Okay. So I find that people from Delhi is there, Bangalore, Trivandrum, Trichy are all connected good. So unity and integrity. So first, let us talk about unity. Then we'll go to integrity. So there is a difference between the word unity and uniformity. To understand the unity, you must know uniformity also. Unity means unity in diversity, whereas uniformity means, okay, bringing togetherness, okay, togetherness through alikeness, okay, similarity. Okay, togetherness through alikeness. Okay. So any questions, I will take it at 12 o'clock. Okay, so let us finish some points. Okay, so every topic when I finish, I'll give you some time for asking the doubts. If not, if it is a big discussion, I'll stop at 1 hour so that you can ask the doubts. Okay, so now listen, keep listening. Okay, togetherness through likeness. You take the example of China. Okay, China, the major race is called as Han's Chinese. Okay, so they give importance to the Han's race only. Okay, even though Chinese people look alike, there are various races. They give importance to Han's Chinese. That is why they develop a hatred to Taiwan people. Okay, Hong Kong also. Okay, even though they look similar, their races are different. That is why there is a hostility. Okay, because Chinese government gives preference to the Han's race. Okay, and if you see, Mandarin is the dialect which the government give preferences. There are many dialects. Okay, Mandarin is a dialect. What is dialect? Dialect is a regional variation of a language. Okay, for example, Tamil Nadu, if you go to Western Tamil Nadu, there will be a dialect. Southern Tamil Nadu, one dialect. North Madras, okay, a very interesting dialect. Okay, so we have regional variations across the state. Likewise, in China also, there are various dialects of Chinese. One of the important dialect is Mandarin. The state gives importance to the Mandarin. Okay. So likewise, political ideology also, communist ideology. Okay, you can't have any other ideology in China. You will be persecuted for having a different political ideology. And there is only one political party, Communist Party of China. Okay, so no other differences is allowed. You must have only one political ideology. Okay, an important thing you must know is Chinese government is trying to suppress the cultural practices of Tibetan people, and as well as there is a region called as Xinjiang region. The Xinjiang region is contiguous to India. Contiguous means continuous. Okay, like Tibet, no, Xinjiang is next to Tibet, so it is continuous to Indian territory. Okay, there we have a group of people called as Uyghur Muslims. Okay, the Uyghur is their race and Muslims is their religion. Okay, these people are not given equal preference by the government. Okay, so that is if you take Sri Lanka also same way, one religion, one language, one race, Sinhala race, Sinhalese language, and Buddhist religion. Also, all other people are subjugated there. Okay, so if you are a Buddhist, you will be given preference in Sri Lanka. Otherwise, you will be treated as a secondary grade citizen. Okay, so the countries like China and Sri Lanka, they are following uniformity. Okay, they are not following unity in diversity. But in case of India, we are following unity in diversity. What is the meaning? We will recognize and respect the differences. Recognize and respect the differences. We will recognize and respect the differences. Okay, good. So Uyghur Muslims are prosecuted. Good. Many are well informed. Mandarin is so one of you have asked which language dialect is Mandarin. Okay, Chinese language. Okay, so China is following uniformity. Please concentrate, no? Don't ask me to repeat and all. I'm already doing it slowly. Okay, uniformity. See, the main listen, the very simple difference between uniformity and unity is unity in diversity. Uniformity is trying to bring togetherness through a likeness. In unity, even though you are different, you will be uh, uh, made to feel that you are one. There is some common line is achieved, and we will say that all of them are belonging to one country. So unity in diversity is, despite of differences, we will stay united. But in case of uniformity, if there is differences, it will try to be eliminated. So yes, see, the class goes like this. I just want to tell you that the approach of the class is, when we take some concept, okay, we will build it step by step. When we are talking about the initial things about a concept, definitely you will have a lot of doubts. So wait until the entire discussion is over. All your questions will be addressed. Okay. So in between, suddenly you type some question. What will happen is, you will not listen to what I'm saying. So continuity will not be there. So always, when you have doubt, just mark that you have doubt on that area. It will be solved automatically in the discussion. If not, you can raise that doubt, because I see a lot of duplication. Okay, because there were a lot of questions that is typed, and after discussing this, I'm coming and saying some of you have repeated the question which has already been explained. Okay, so wait for, okay, so even if you have some clarifications, sir, my understanding is like that, is it correct or not, that also you can ask when we give time for the doubts. Okay, so then and there, if you keep typing, it will be distraction for you also. Okay, so that. So recognize unity in diversity. Okay, recognize and respects the differences. Whereas in uniformity, it tries to eliminate the differences. Okay, In uniformity, it tries to eliminate the differences. In India, we have various cultures. Okay, we have various religions. We have various caste groups. We have various linguistic groups. Tamil-speaking people, Telugu-speaking people, Hindi-speaking people. Northeast, they have their own tribal languages. Okay, and a lot of languages. Okay, 1,000+ languages are there. Okay, so in terms of region, in terms of geography, in terms of history, in terms of language, caste, religion, India has a lot of differences. Okay, when we say unity in diversity, the Indian Constitution allows all of you to follow your own religion, follow your own language. At the same time, it also expects you to be Indians. Okay, so there are two identities. One is the national identity and sub-identities. Okay. The national identity is the Indian identity. Sub-identities means the identity that you have with your religion, language, etc. Okay, so you are allowed to follow both the identities. Okay, just because you belong to India doesn't mean that you have to eliminate your sub-identity. Okay, while being an Indian, you can also pursue your sub-identity. You can be proud equally to be an Indian as well as a person belonging to a religion. You can be an Indian as well as you can be proud to belong to a particular caste. You can be an Indian, you can be proud to belong to a particular linguistic group. Okay, so nothing is bad. Okay, generally in interview, UPSC interview, okay, when you go, they ask this question to you. Especially if you are from Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Maharashtra, or Punjab. Okay, so these 4 states are known for regionalism. Okay, meaning they will place more importance for their state interest compared to the national interest. Okay, so it's in fact a criticism. Okay, so that is why every time a politician from North India will look South Indians with the contempt. Okay, even the recent times, Markandeya Kachu, okay, the former judge. Okay, we know what happened. Okay, what he posted in Facebook and what was the reply from people of Tamil Nadu. Okay, so a lot of things were happening there. But basically, what is the mindset of North Indians is, Tamil Nadu always goes against the national identity. Okay, so that perception is there. So when you go as an aspirant from Tamil Nadu, there is a question that is put. Okay, or from Maharashtra, or from Karnataka, or from Punjab, that whether you are an Indian or a Punjabi, whether you are Indian or a Maratha, whether you are Indian or a Kannadiga. Okay, like that, the question will be put. Okay, so when such question is put to you, okay, what would be your answer? Okay, you can just type in. Okay, good. So I get three different types of answer. Okay, that is okay, Indian, Tamil. Okay, very good. And fine. Thanks for the answers. Okay, and okay, very good. One person has said I am an Indian by nationality and Tamilian by sub-identity or my language. Okay, very good. Okay, fine. Now, there are some answers telling that I am a Tamilian and then an Indian, or I am a Kannadiga first and then an Indian. That is a wrong answer. Okay, you should not say like that. You are going to be an All India Service Officer. You are going to maintain the unity of this country. You can have your diversity. You can have your differences. You can very well say that you are proud to be a Kannadiga. You are proud to be a Tamilian. But at the same time, whenever there is a conflict between the national identity and the regional identity, sub-identity, national identity should prevail. Okay, national identity prevail. Okay, so you should not say I'm a Tamil Indian, Kannadiga as well as Indian. You should reverse the statement. You should to say that I'm an Indian as well as Tamil, or an Indian who speaks Tamil, an Indian who is a Kannadiga. Okay, like that. Say, and as one person say, you can say that India is my national identity, Kannada is my linguistic identity. Like that, you can say. There are some people who have just mentioned I'm an Indian. That's all. Okay, so if you have given the answer Indian, which means you support more of uniformity, or you go by uniformity principle, which means you are trying to give up your sub identity for the national identity. Indian constitution never expects like that. Okay? Indian constitution expects that you can have your regional identity, you can have your religious identity, you can have your tribal identity, you can have your linguistic identity, but at the same time you have to have the Indian identity also. You have to promote unity in the country. Done. Whenever there is a conflict also, you have to give primacy to the national identity compared to the regional identity. So if there is some issue where there is an interest of Tamil Nadu versus interest of the nation, interest of the nation should prevail. Okay, so you should keep this in mind. All your answers in the interview and mains examination should be based on this attitude. Okay, so if a question is asked, okay, so the Tamil Nadu politicians may give a different perspective, the Tamil Nadu intellectuals may give a different perspective. Okay, you may agree with that point also because you are from Tamil Nadu. Don't write that answer. Okay, you have to write an answer keeping in mind that nation is first. Okay, and then only your regional identity. At the same time, you need not give up your regional identity. That is the meaning of unity in diversity. The unity in diversity recognizes and respects the differences, allows you to maintain differences, whereas uniformity tries to eliminate the differences. Okay. Now we may ask, sir, China is following uniformity, so why can't we follow the uniformity? Okay. And even Sri Lanka, a small country, is following uniformity. Why can't we? Pakistan is following uniformity. They want all of the Muslims to be Muslims and all of them to be Sunni Muslims. Okay, the Ahmadiyyas is being prosecuted, Shias is being conflicted with. Okay, so they want perfect uniformity, and why can't we? Okay, so that is the question that all of you may have. See, India is a diverse country. In case of China, 98% is almost all same. Okay, so their uniformity may be possible. In my perspective, uniformity is wrong. But in a country like China, they can attempt for uniformity, but at least 98% is like that. In Sri Lanka also, okay, 90% plus. No, personally, I don't agree with the concept of uniformity. I'm saying, okay. But in case of India, okay, if you say Hindus, 80% is Hindus. Okay, remaining 20% is other religious people. But if you talk in terms of language, okay, once again, there is a diversity. Okay. We don't have a singular majority. Maybe persons knowing Hindi, maybe 40% in India. But those people who are having their mother tongue, okay, if you see people in that way, we will have a lot of differences. Okay, so we have a lot of diversity. In terms of caste, also we have diversity. In terms of region, also we have diversity. Geographical area, in perspective, political ideologies also. Okay, we have certain states, we go by the rightist ideology. Some states which go by left ideology, like Kerala and West Bengal. Some of the states go by centrist ideology. Some states like Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Punjab, and Karnataka go by regional politics, or they give primacy to son of soil theory. Okay, so a lot of political differences is also there. We have multiple political parties. So considering all these things, we can follow only unity in diversity. If you try to eliminate diversity in India and try to bring uniformity, then there will be perpetual conflict, always fight. And it is not at all possible also to bring uniformity in India, okay, because of the large amount of diversity we have. Even in ethnic related, see, if you see, recently in Facebook, I saw a photograph of all North Koreans. Okay, I cannot differentiate between people. Okay, all of them were looking similar. But just imagine a photograph where many Indians are posing together. Okay, we can easily find that Indians are with differential colors. Okay, this is differential physical features. Okay, because we have races. In fact, for your information, almost all the major races of the world is found in India. I'll repeat again. Almost all the major races which is across the world is found in India. Starting from Caucasus to Negroid to Australoid feature, all the features are found in India. Which means that India many people from across the world has come and settled here. So India is a land of diversity. Here we cannot, or it is impossible to implement uniformity. So the better option is unity in diversity practically. Ideally also, ideally, for the goodness, okay, of our country, unity in diversity is good. So if you ask, sir, what is the exact uh, opposite for uniformity, okay, is diversity. Uniformity versus diversity. Okay, there is one analogy was given by one of the students in the chat box, telling that, sir, in school what they try to bring is uniformity, in college what they try to bring is unity and diversity. Maybe with respect to uniform, okay, the dress we wear, that analogy can be taken, but substantially even in schools they are trying to bring unity and diversity, okay, because except for uniform, in all other cases, you know, we find all of them, people belonging to different cultures studying in the same school, they are treated equally. Different religious festivals are being celebrated, okay, and during you know, Indian Independence Day and Republic Day, the diversity of the country is displayed. Okay, so both schools and colleges try to implement or try to inculcate the value of unity and diversity. Your analogy with respect to uniform can be accepted, otherwise no. Okay, so understood now, unity and diversity. Okay, so we are there to follow unity. Now you can ask doubts, dear friends. See, there is one beautiful question. Okay, sir, can we say national identity prevails over regional identity in uniformity? Okay, in uniformity, regional identity is not at all allowed, not prevail, leave alone prevailing over. Okay, in case of unity and diversity, we will allow the regional identity, regional aspirations, provided it does not clash with the national identity. Only when it is clashing with the national identity, we'll say national identity will give priority. In case of uniformity, no regional identity at all or no regional aspiration. Okay, completely uniformity eliminates differences. Okay. Completely uniformity eliminates differences. Okay. So I get messages that, you know, regarding my voice, audio and video, if there is some issue over audio and video, please log out and log in again. Okay, so yesterday also in one of the classes it happened. So okay, it may be a fault on your side. So for those, you know, for audio is a problem, please log out and log in again. Okay, so that issue is coming for 1 or 2 people, so it is in your side. Okay, it's fine. So national identity will prevail over the regional identity in unity in diversity. Okay, regional identity will not be eliminated. It will be tried to be made subordinate only when it is clashing with the national identity. In uniformity, no regional identity, no regional aspiration. Okay, for example, in Sri Lanka, Tamil people are asking for political rights. The Sri Lankan government is saying completely no. And right now, the Rajapaksa brothers are the prime minister and president. They're hell bent on saying that no political aspirations of Tamil will be accepted. For that matter, Muslims in Sri Lanka also will not be given their due place. Okay, in the polity. Okay, so that is the meaning of uniformity. They will eliminate the sub identities completely. Okay. Uniform civil code, is it same as the uniformity? See, you can understand uniform civil code. For freshers, you know, I will explain what is uniform civil code later. For this question asked, uniform civil code can be seen in 2 ways. If you're trying to bring uniform civil code based on one religion, then it is going to be definitely uniformity. Uniform civil code when it is trying to accommodate the views of all religions, and you're trying to create a common uniform civil code, a uniform civil code which is modern, which is related to the present day thinking, okay, and uh, it is common to all religion, okay, then it is unity in diversity, okay. So even though we have diverse sections, different religious groups, all of them will adhere to one common civil code, uniform civil code. I can give the recent example, okay. In Hinduism, uh, only boys will get the ancestral property, women will not get, okay. Same is in the case of Muslims also, okay. And in case of Christianity, male child will get more share of the property, girl child will get less share, okay. So property, if one boy and one girl is there for parents, the property will be divided into three. Two shares will be given to boys, one share will be given to a girl child, okay. But however, recently the Supreme Court has added that girl child also has a share, equal share in ancestral property. So this point is a uniform civil code telling that in all religions, the girl child should have a, in case of Supreme Court, they have talked about Hindu code bill only. But however, I'm saying in case of uh, uh, future, when they say that, from all the religions, all the girl children should be getting equal share from their ancestral property, then, it is not based on any one religion, it is based on present day principles, present day principle of equality. It is based on constitutional morality. Such kind of uniform civil code is, of course, is a unity in diversity. So even uniform civil code, we can approach in two ways, unity way or uniformity way. Okay, in India's sense, we are trying to bring in uniform civil code based on unity. That would be sustainable. Okay, if you are going to bring uniform civil code based on one religion, automatically all other religious people will protest, or all other religious people will feel that, they are being alienated from the system. Okay, so some kind of commonality must be arrived. So I think we had enough discussions on unity. Next we can discuss about integrity. There's nothing called uniformity. One question is asked, what is uniformity in diversity? Nothing like that. Unity in diversity is there. That is respecting the diversity of people. Uniformity, okay, is completely different. Yes, right now property rights of women only according to Hindu religion. What I'm saying is, in future it should be brought for all the religion. Then it would be modern. Is penetration of Hindi in the South is the idea of uniformity. Okay, very good, very good. So we have asked a very relevant question here. Okay, Lokesh Kanagraj. Now, if you read the Indian Constitution, that is the beauty of Indian Constitution. The politicians of India is not reading the Indian Constitution. That is the problem. You read the Indian Constitution, Article 351 clearly states that, the Hindi should be developed as an official language. Fine. The wordings that come after this is very important. They're saying that the Hindi should be enriched. Hindi should be enriched by the syntax, vocabulary, okay, and uniqueness of the scheduled languages of India. Okay, without its basic character being compromised. Okay, so I'll tell you the meaning. So Hindi first has to be developed as a language of unity in diversity. We have 22 languages in India which are called as scheduled languages. So the uniqueness, the vocabulary of these languages, the style in which the languages are written, syntax means the way it is formed. Okay, where the subject, where the verb, where the adverb will come. Okay, where will be the object will be coming. Okay, so the grammar part, how you frame the sentence in a particular language. Okay, so those ideas should be grabbed from the 22 languages, and Hindi should be enriched, and that Hindi should be spread across the country. Now the problem is the politicians are concentrating in the second part, the only one part. Okay, telling that Hindi has to be spread across the country. Okay, the part in which Hindi has to be enriched by the scheduled languages of this country is being left off completely. Okay, because they do not study it properly. Okay, so in case of language also, Article 351, which asks to spread Hindi, that also clearly talks about unity in diversity. Say that, okay, when we have one language for communication, it's fine, well and good. Okay, one official language. Okay, so at least the bureaucrats, the politicians, okay, those who are in public life, if they learn one official language, Hindi, it is easy for them to communicate, fine. But at the same time, Hindi should be enriched by getting the uniqueness of all the 22 languages, which has to be done, okay, which is not being concentrated by any of the politicians. And that is why, you know, southern states are saying Hindi is being imposed. Okay, and in fact, Hindi is a itself is a mixture of Persian and Sanskrit. Okay, they say when Sanskrit and Persian is there, okay, it resulted in Urdu. In Urdu, influence of Persian is higher. Influence of Persian language is higher compared to Sanskrit. Now, when the influence of Persian reduced and the influence of Sanskrit increased, the language of Hindi born. So Hindi itself is a language of unity in diversity. Okay, one language which is born out of influences of multiple languages. Say Urdu, Persian, and Sanskrit. Okay, and and of course, you know, Hindi already has taken the vocabulary of the local languages like Bihari, Rajasthani, Bhojpuri, okay, languages that is spoken, Marathi. Okay, fine. Okay, so likewise, it is already taken. Now the mandate of the constitution, one person has asked, sir, yes, both the as, okay, one person has clearly mentioned that both the as, you know, their language. Okay, in fact, Hindi has a major influence from the language spoken by Bhotias also. Okay, so like that. Okay, as of now, even the language is unity in diversity. Okay, Supriyo, I will take your question at the end. Okay, you have raised a very good question. Please ask it at the end of, because it is completely out of syllabus. Okay, okay, stick with this point. Okay, when we come to citizenship and other things, we will discuss. Okay, for freshers who don't know uniform civil code, as I said already, I will do it later. Anyway, it is part of our syllabus. A separate class of 15 minutes discussion is there. Okay, so I will discuss there. Right now, you don't worry. Okay, fine. Now let us go to the next topic, integrity. Okay, so I appreciate questions. So if you have questions which is out of the topic that is we are discussing, or the particular question may be related to the topic, but you know, it jumps on to some other topic like citizenship or some other thing, keep the question to yourself. We will discuss after the class is over, after 1:30. Okay, fine. Integrity. The word integrity means undividedness. Okay, the word integrity means undividedness. Okay, because as I said, unity in diversity, you know, we are allowed to have our differences. The word integrity says that we should not allow division between us, or we should not allow the differences. We should not allow the differences to divide us. We should not allow the differences to divide us. For example, let us talk about examples of Tamil Nadu and Punjab. Okay, in 1960s, Tamil Nadu said we want a separate country. Okay, because Tamil are different from Indians. Punjabis said the same thing in the 1980s. They said that Punjabis are completely different from Indians. So we need a separate country. In fact, Navjot Singh Sidhu, a sports cricketer, no? Last year he gave a statement, a controversial statement. He said that people in Punjab has more similarities with Pakistanis than with the people of Tamil Nadu because of the distance. And Punjab, that actually is divided. Some part of the Punjab in undivided India went to Pakistan. Some part is in India, and especially the Sindh province in Pakistan. Mostly Sikhs are living there. Recently, last year, Kartarpur corridor. Okay, in Pakistan there is a Sikh shrine. Okay, Sikh worship place. Okay, so from India, a corridor has been established to facilitate Indians to visit the Gurudwara. Okay, through the Kartarpur corridor. Okay, so Sikhs are there. Okay, so such a statement was made. Now, Indian Constitution says that you can have your differences, you can have your sub-identities, you can practice your regionalism, but you should not bring that regionalism to divide the country. Saying that I'm belonging to Tamil community, okay, so I want a separate country. I'm a Punjabi, so I want a separate country, is not at all acceptable. Okay, you can have your differences, but you should not allow the differences to divide. Okay. Just assume this, that you are coming to offline class. Okay, so let us hope that this corona pandemic ends soon and you're back to the classrooms. Okay, so when you come to the classrooms, you will make new relationships, new friendships, okay, with your neighbors. Okay, the first day class, you won't know who's the person sitting nearby you. You will not know. Okay, you will not be knowing who's sitting nearby you. But as days go, you will create friendships with them. And when you create friendship, slowly you will come to know about that individual. Okay, supposing you come to know that the person whom you have created the friendship belongs to some other caste, the person belongs to some other religion, the person's political ideology is completely opposite to you. Whatever you like, that person does not like. Okay, starting from food to clothing habits, he has always an opposite opinion. Okay. Now, just because the person is having a different set of opinions, will you cut down your friendship? That is my question. Created a friendship, okay, and then you come to know that you guys are different, completely different. Okay, will you cut the friendship? No. Okay, so I'm getting a strict no from all of you. Okay, there is no single yes. Good, very good. That is what integrity. Very simple. The concept of integrity is, okay, telling that I am different, you are different. I will have my opinion, you have your opinion. I will have my preferences, you have your preferences. I may be belonging to one religion, you belong to one religion, you worship somebody else. That I don't bother about it. But the difference between us, we will not allow to divide us. Okay, in fact, there's one beautiful answer from Achaya that, in fact, difference of opinion is good actually. It brings in quality. Okay, it enhances life. Okay, and of course, we have to respect the differences. Okay. See, interestingly, okay, the word unity and integrity is always written together. Unity and integrity. If you take the preamble and read it, okay, they do not use the word unity and integrity as a separate words. They write it in together, unity and diversity, which means we have unity in diversity. Despite of differences, we live together. At the same time, hyphen should not allow differences to divide us. Okay, and it should not allow differences to divide us. Okay. And I told you the word integrity was added along with socialism and secularism. In which act? 42nd Amendment Act, 1976. 1470. Okay. We have already seen why socialism was added, secularism was added. Secularism was added to counter the right-wing extremism. Socialism was added to counter the left-wing extremism. That we know. Now, integrity was added to counter excessive regionalism. Okay, excessive regionalism. Okay, what do you mean by excessive regionalism? See, if people of Tamil Nadu is saying that, okay, we don't want NEET, we don't want GST because it is affecting the interest of the people. Okay, that is their right in a democracy. Okay, a particular state people can demand what they want. Suppose people of Maharashtra, okay, is coming out and telling that we don't want a nuclear plant in our state. Okay, or say Rajasthan people are saying that we don't have a separate identity. Rajasthani is considered to be one of the dialects of Hindi. So we want Rajasthani to be recognized as a separate language. Like that they're asking. Okay. So when a state people is giving importance to their state's interest, it's called as regionalism, I said. But it is not always bad. And it is, of course, part of politics. It is democracy. Okay. What you want, you should ask in the country. Like already we saw, no? If a group of people belonging to a religion asking for what they want doesn't mean that they are communal. They are asking for their religious rights, which is of course democratic. Okay, within the framework of India, you are asking for religious right, you are not communal. Like within the framework of India, you ask for your state's interest, it is not at all okay bad. Okay, so regionalism, in fact, has uh, not been bad to India. In fact, in future we will see, when in further discussions we'll see regionalism has helped in unity of this country. Okay, because the government has recognized regionalism, it has allowed for federal country, it has given freedom for state government. When the state governments are satisfying the needs of the state's people, people are happy and they do not ask for independence. Okay, they always want to remain with Indian Union. Okay, only when the states is always neglected, supposing one state you are choosing and neglecting it always, the state will ask for independence. They'll say that, better I'll go as a independent state and take care of me. Okay, because I'm not getting any benefit from this country. Okay, so by recognizing regionalism, by recognizing state government's power, Indian government has ensured unity as sustained. But excessive regionalism is trying to form a separate country. Okay, telling that whatever compromise you're coming for, I don't worry. I don't want to stay with Indian Union. I want a separate country. Like that, if you are saying, that is called as excessive regionalism, is countered by integrity. So Indira Gandhi introduced the word integrity and said that, see, okay, you can have your differences. We respect your differences. You may be a person belonging to a tribal community, you may be a scheduled caste, you may be a Muslim. Okay, you may be a Kannadiga, everything fine. Okay, but you don't allow the differences to divide us. In recent times we find some people are saying that if you're a Muslim you cannot be an Indian, so please go to Pakistan. Okay, so that is a kind of thing which goes against the principle of unity and integrity. Okay, fine. It is done, integrity is done. Now we have to see dignity. Okay, the next concept. Okay. Yeah, okay, Greater Nagaland, okay, or Northeast, some of the tribal groups want to constitute a separate country, that is excessive regionalism. Jammu and Kashmir, excessive regionalism. Punjab case, very good. Khalistan, okay, the establishment of Khalistan, that is also a case of uh, integrity. Now, one person asks, sir, the bifurcation of Andhra into two different states, that won't affect integrity, or it is excessive regionalism. Remember, only when a particular group of people wants to form a separate country, it would amount to uh, separatism. Okay, it would affect the integrity. When within Indian Union, you ask for anything, you are allowed for it. Okay, it cannot be affecting the integrity, because integrity means undividedness. You cannot divide the country, but you can divide the state. You will be seeing it. Okay, the entire India cannot be divided, but within India we have small areas. Okay, states. That states can be divided. Its boundaries can be altered. Okay. So Vidarbha region for Maharashtra, if they are asking for a separate state of Vidarbha, it won't affect the integrity of the country. Okay, you may ask, sir, it is affecting the integrity of Maharashtra. It is affecting the integrity of Maharashtra. No, it is not affecting the integrity of the Maharashtra. Okay, because the states in India, state of Tamil Nadu, state of Karnataka, state of Maharashtra, Kerala, they do not have integrity, which means they can be divided, their boundaries can be altered. The whole idea of India, the entire country, that is undivided, that has integrity. Okay, so some of you giving answers, if any state, any politician is asking for excessive regionalism, or asking for separate country from India, the future of the country as well as that state is affected. Don't jump. Okay, some of you asking which article allows states to be divided. Okay, that and all we will tell later. Now our point is states cannot be, sorry, the country cannot be divided, whereas the states can be divided. Okay, fine. Okay, the partition is an example of communalism. Okay, here, okay, states interest and you want to separatism, that is regionalism. When religion is the main reason for separating, then it is okay communalism. Yes, when Russia was divided, it means that integrity of the country was compromised. Integrity of USSR was compromised. Whenever there is a division, there is compromise for the integrity. The word integrity means undividedness. Simple. That is enough. Okay, the provisions, we will see the provisions of undividedness of India inside the constitution. Okay, now we are in preamble only. So this information is enough for you. Okay, fine. Okay, I would request you to ask doubts only. Okay, so some of you, I really appreciate that some articles of the constitution, the other parts of the constitution, you have additional knowledge. Okay, so please refrain from typing in the chat box. Okay, only when you have doubt, you raise it as a doubt, and when I ask question, at that time you can give your viewpoints, please. So now dignity. Okay, what do you mean by dignity? Dignity means self-worth. Okay, some of you may say that it is self-respect. Okay, yes, of course. Okay, dignity is self-respect, but you must remember the flow goes like this. So dignity means self-worth, which means everybody has a value. Okay, so there is a thinker called as Immanuel Kant. Okay, you will be reading about him in the ethics paper. He's a ethical thinker. Okay, while this person, Immanuel Kant is talking about this ethics, he says that everything in this world has value, worth. Okay, the worth of the laptop is say 40,000 rupees. Okay, worth of a mobile phone, okay, maybe like 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, or 5,000. So the worth of non-living things is money value. Money value. Okay. Whereas the individual is having a worth, that worth, self-worth is called as dignity. Okay, and that worth is, okay, what is that worth? You may have been asking, sir, how much it is. Okay, how to calculate that worth. Okay, the self-worth of the individual is, okay, priceless, I should say. Okay, the exact word, priceless. Invaluable. You cannot quantify it in earthly terms. Okay. So the most sacrosanct of all is the worth of the individual. And so you may be asking, sir, what do you mean, sir? What is self-worth? How do we understand the concept of self-worth? Okay. When you live a meaningful life, okay. So when you're doing something, okay, for example, you're sitting in the class and now listening, okay, there must be some meaning for it. Okay. That action should be meaningful. Okay. What is a meaningful life? When you live life, it should give happiness to you. Okay, so what will give happiness to you? When something is beneficial to you, it is happiness. Okay, so dignity is a life lived for the benefit of oneself. Okay, so when I say dignity is self-worth, self-worth is, it is not just cannot be equated to price, it is invaluable. Okay, and why it is invaluable? Because, you know, it is not equated to any money value or any product, any commodity, any things in this world, but dignity, or you get your self-worth by living a meaningful life, which means a life which is beneficial for oneself. So what is the opposite when you lose your dignity? Okay, loss of dignity is when, you know, you are forced forced to act for the benefit of others. When you live your life for the benefit of others, okay, you have no life for yourself, you are made to live your life entirely for others. Okay, so then it is called as loss of dignity. Loss of dignity. Okay, the stage of loss of dignity is called as exploitation. Okay, in newspapers we find this word exploitation, right, too often. Okay, exploited, he is being exploited, Dalits has been exploited, tribals has been exploited, like that, you know, we are women are exploited, which means they are being used for the benefit of others. Okay, those who are involved in prostitution, they are exploited by others. Okay, for the benefit of others. Okay, these people are being forced to live a inhuman life. Manual scavenging is exploitation. Okay, what is manual scavenging? Some people are made to remove the garbage in their manual, okay, in their bare hands. Some people are made to clean the sewage, okay, the drainage, the human waste, okay, in their bare hands. So you will find that, you know, there are manholes in the road, right? Drainage, you know, if some blockage in the drainage, there will be a manhole. If you open the lid, okay, people will go into the manhole, okay, and clean the drainage, clean the sewage. There have been many deaths, okay, because methane gas will be generated. Methane gas is poisonous, you know, okay, so it would affect the individual and the individual may die. So there are a lot of deaths that has been taking place by entering into the manhole. Okay, so that is a problem. Now, government could have given protective equipments, or the society should create some other technology. Scientists should create a technology to ensure that robots are used for that purpose. Okay, but even after a lot of scientific achievements, okay, we are even going to Mars and Moon, but we have not yet found a very basic equipment for cleaning our waste. Okay, so manual scavenging is a kind of exploitation. It leads to loss of dignity because some people are made to live for the benefit of others. Okay. Yes. Now one question I would like to put to you. Okay. Your parents are there. Your parents, they are living their entire life for you. As you know, parents are living the entire life for you. Parents are living entire life for you. You know that. Okay, then rightly one person has asked about, sir, what about social services? When people do social services, they work for the benefit of others. Your parents work for your own benefit. Let us take army people. They sacrifice, leave social services, go for army. They get killed. For example, Galwan Valley. Okay, we lost 20 soldiers. Okay, they have lost their life to protect the integrity of the country. Okay, to protect the sovereignty of the country. Very good. They are not forced. Shamim. Okay, Shamim has given a very good answer. Okay, yes, they are not forced. Voluntary. Okay, so voluntarily, if somebody is asking, okay, but when you're forced to act for the benefit of others, then it is loss of dignity and it is exploitation. Okay, just imagine a situation that, okay, you are coming to Chennai. Okay, you are studying in Chennai. At that time, you need pocket money. So you're asking your father to give the pocket money. Okay, if he's willingly transferring the money, fine. Okay, it's not exploitation. Okay, the dignity is not lost. But if you are making a call to your father and father says no money, Corona times, please adjust. But you are saying that no, if you are not sending the money, tomorrow I will go somewhere. I will not come to the native place. I will not, or also not be in Chennai. Okay, I'll go to Kasi Rameswaram. Okay, to find out the real reality of life, or I'll go to Himalayas. Okay, so like that, if you are okay, if like that, if you're going to say, then it is really an exploitation. You are exploiting your father because you are threatening, you are forcing your father to send pocket money. Okay, so whenever somebody is working for others benefit out of voluntary action, it won't be called as exploitation. But when the element of force is there, there is exploitation and loss of dignity for that individual. Okay, so in yesterday's class there was another question, sir. Okay, dowry. Okay, getting dowry. Okay, whether it involves loss of dignity, yes. Okay, the dignity of women is lost because the women is not valued for being women. Okay, if a woman is valued for the dowry she brings, the money tag is attached on her, so she's been fixed with the price, so it is a loss of dignity. It's a kind of exploitation. A man, when he gets dowry from a woman, he's exploiting the women. He's exploiting the women. I know he is resulting to the loss of dignity of the women. Okay, so what can we define? Okay, and the second thing is, okay, when you monetize the value of the individual, okay, then also it is loss of dignity. Okay, so loss of dignity is not only you're forced to act for the benefit of others, but when you monetize, okay, the value of the individual, when you put a money value to the individual, then also it is a kind of exploitation. It is a loss of dignity. I would like to tell a small incident that happened in my home. Okay, 2 years back, when my child was 3 years old. I took my son to a shop, nearby shop, okay, to buy biscuits. Okay, his favorite biscuit. Now I just wanted to teach him, a teacher's habit. No, he not only teaches in the academy but also teaches at home also. Keep teaching always. So I just want to teach him, how to converse with the shopkeeper. So I just uh, asked my son to ask how much the biscuit costs. So he asked the shopkeeper how much the biscuit is. The shopkeeper told 10 rupees. So immediately he took 10 rupees and showed the 10 rupees to my son. Okay, and told that, so see, this is 10 rupee. The 10 rupee note looks like this. Okay, maybe when you grow up, no, they may demonetize 10 rupee also. Okay. So anyway, I just told him that this is a 10 rupee note. Okay, so give it to the shopkeeper and then buy the biscuit. So he took the biscuit and we went back to the home. Okay, so I always have this curiosity, I often keep asking my son how much he likes me. Okay, because I used to teach in Trivandrum, Bangalore, and now Delhi also. Okay, so for the past 2 years, completely I was on the go. Okay, every month, at least minimum 1 week, maximum 2 weeks, I'll be out of station. Okay, so in the initial time and all, I asked how much you like me. So that evening when we went to the shop and come back, I asked this question to him, how much you like me? He replied that 10 rupees. Okay. So now I gave a response through my body language. I was not accepting to the answer. Okay, I conveyed to him that, it was not an appropriate answer. Okay, now I wanted to test him whether he understood because he was learning the language. Okay, 3-year-old person is learning the language. So I wanted to ensure that he has understood that you cannot give a money value. Okay, so now I asked this question. Okay, let me know how much you like your mother. Okay, now my son got alert and he answered me that I don't know. He simply answered I don't know because that the earlier answer is not an appropriate one because he got a disapproval through my body language. So now he is alert. He said I don't know. Now my wife was nearby only. She jumped in and she said that if he is not knowing exactly how much he likes me, it means that I am invaluable. I'm priceless. I'm very invaluable. Okay, but you are worth only 10 rupees. Okay, that is what she said. She said, look at my face and said you are worth only 10 rupees. Okay. Now why I have to tell this incident? For two reasons. One is dignity is priceless, invaluable. Okay, what is the worth of the individual is invaluable. When you fix money value to an individual, the worth is gone. Okay, and okay, in mains examination or in interview, or especially in interview, if you don't know, you have to say don't know like a child. See, my son, when he answered that he doesn't know the answer, he did not feel guilty. But most of us grown-ups, you and I, when we don't know an answer, we will feel guilty. Okay, we'll feel very bad. Okay, right now, when many are giving good answers, when a lot of things is being typed in the chat box, freshers will feel very bad. Okay, you will think that, these people are talking many things. They know many things. I don't know anything. Okay, so am I fit? Am I ready for this examination? Can I take up this IAS examination? Really, am I worth? Okay, repeat, really, am I worth for this examination? Like these questions will come. Remember, okay, you should not think like that. Okay, you should be like a child. Okay, not everybody knows everything. Okay, what we know is very small, very, very little. Okay, so you should develop an attitude that, if you don't know, say confidently that you don't know. Okay, but in back of your mind, you should think immediately that evening you will know what is it. This is the uh, a good character of a civil service aspirant. When you don't know, accept that you don't know. Okay, and keep that in mind and try to know it as soon as possible. Okay, so that kind of spirit will help you to clear this examination and also get good marks in the interview. Okay, I'll come back. I've told this incidents, to note that, what is dignity. Dignity is something which is self-worth, okay, which cannot be monetized. Okay, so in yesterday's class, your own batch, okay, those people who have gone to the weekend, third batch. Okay, so I was discussing the same concept to them. One person asked me, said, then what about IPL? Recently, IPL is being conducted and every player is being actioned. So now for each player, some money value is fixed. So can we say that their dignity is lost? Their worth is lost. Okay. So in that case, it is their talent. Okay. For each player, okay, the money value is fixed because of their talent. More the talent a player is, more is the money value. Less the talent, lesser is the money value. So for your talents, money value can be fixed. For person as such, money value cannot be fixed. You can take about, you can talk about the salaries that is given in the companies. Okay, when they give salary in the companies, uh, the salary is given for your skill set, your experience, not for the person as such. Whereas in bonded labor, you are bought completely. In slavery, you are bought completely. So slavery, bonded labor are all laws of dignity. They are all exploitation. They all will be called as exploitation. Okay. Any doubts in this? See, the word dignity is being used everywhere. Okay, now it has become a cliche. The original meaning is you should not be forced to act for the benefit of others. Okay, when you monetize the value of the individual, okay, then also it is. Now, one person has asked, sir, money for vote is termed as exploitation. Okay, we can say that it is a kind of loss of dignity. Yes, okay, because you are not exercising your choice, you are selling your choice. When you are selling your choice, it is a loss of dignity. Yes, human trafficking is loss of dignity. Yes. There is another question. When we don't get recognition for what we do, can we call it as exploitation? We should use the word negligence, not exploitation. Okay. So, or we can say like this. Okay. When you have been promised of recognition, okay, when you are promised of recognition, okay, and you are made to do some work, okay, you want to get the recognition, so you are doing the work. But at the end of the day, after your work has been done, they're getting all the benefits, but they're not giving you due recognition. In that case, it can be called as exploitation. Okay. So when there is no promise of recognition, okay, and you do it, but the government or the society fails to, acknowledge it, then it is negligence. Okay. So in the case of exploitation, okay, somebody should come and tell you that, do it for me. Okay. In return, I will not give anything for you. Okay. You have to do it. Okay. Otherwise, I will use violence on you or some other tricks on you. Okay. Okay. Then a person asked about bonds in the IT sector. I'll explain it when we come to Article 23, 24. Okay. Please ask the same question there. Okay. Somebody has created, sir, why can't we go and make a deal with Japan and create a equipment for doing manual scavenging? Okay. We can do. Okay. When the government is not doing it, means the government is still exploiting. Okay. Or we can say that, the Indian society is still exploiting the manual scavengers. Okay. We have to deal it with the war footing. And we must know that almost 60% of the manual scavenging has been eliminated. So on Indian government side, we are trying still. Yes, when we change the labor laws, it is called as exploitation because we are asking the laborers to work for more number of hours. Okay, say one or two examples enough. Okay, don't keep on adding the examples. Okay. Manual scavenging is exploitation. Caste-based discrimination is also exploitation because you discriminate others for the benefit of society. Okay. Is marriage without consent exploitation? Is marriage without consent exploitation? I think or this person who's asked the question wants to marry without consent. Whose consent I don't know. Okay, marriage without the consent of the individual. If you are marrying, you are not giving consent. You are forced to marry somebody else. It is exploitation only, because for the entire life you are made to live for one person. Okay. So then there is a request, which I'm also thinking. Too much of questions will slow down the class. Okay, so that is why if you really have doubt, ask doubt. Okay, please don't try to give examples. Okay, already enough examples is given by me. Okay, additionally examples, if you want to confirm whether your example is correct or not, better ask it after the class. See, once again, okay, there are a lot of demands. Okay, I have to address the diversity. Okay, fine. Okay, I am doing rationalism. I'm not answering all questions. Those who are thinking that I'm answering all the questions, don't think like that. Okay, there are some relevant questions asked that has to be answered. Okay, without answering the question, I cannot go ahead. Okay, if the base is not understood, it is not useful. Okay, so we have to shape up the class. Okay, so I'm coordinating the class, I'm moderating the class. Okay, and yeah, initially it will be like like stagnating at a particular place itself. But this knowledge is very much for the entire constitution. That is why we are going this in this phase. Okay, I request you, okay, to be patient. Okay, I know when to pick up, when to answer, and what to do. If irrelevant questions are asked, I'm moderating them, I'm instructing them to ask it after 1:30. Okay, please understand me. I'm asking, and I will sit after 1:30 and I'll answer their questions. I'm not wasting your time also. Okay, at the same time, I cannot go completely fast without even answering any of your questions. Okay, and once again, diversity is here. Okay, so this diversity has to be addressed. So there must be some compromise. Okay, so both of you. So those who are asking questions, you have to reduce your number of questions. You stick to the doubts. Okay, no clarifications. The other people, just allow people to take the doubts and get it clarified. You may be smart learners. You should cope up with it. Okay, please, I make it as a request. Okay, fine. Okay, done. Okay, so Immanuel Kant. Okay, some of you asked. Okay, Immanuel Kant. Okay, when these two ideas of laws of dignity is given by him only. Okay, Immanuel Kant says that when you are forced to act for the benefit of others, when your worth is monetized, then it is laws of dignity in its exploitation. Okay. Okay, this year, okay, there was one person, okay, there they asked what is integrity in interview. Okay, so he knows by heart the entire preamble. He knows entire fundamental rights. Okay, but when asked what is integrity, the person is not able to understand. Simply, it is undividedness. We are discussing this much in depth is because you have to inculcate the value. You have to understand what it is, or otherwise, I can just tell it in one word. Okay, see, integrity means undividedness. That's all. Go. Okay, and that your mind will not get it. Okay, only when the discussion goes on, you'll be fine. Okay, then Immanuel Kant also uses one analogy. Okay, he says that everybody should live life like a sun. Okay, okay. Just now I saw. Okay, thanks for your messages. Okay, okay. I don't know what happened. It automatically got muted. Okay, no audio. Now it's fine. Now is the audio is fine. Yeah, now it's clear. Okay, so okay, I'll repeat. Immanuel Kant says that a person should live like life like a sun. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. Okay, so a person should live life like a sun. A sun burns itself in order to survive. Sun burns in order to survive. If the sun stops burning, it will die. Okay, so sun is existing for itself, its own benefit. Incidentally, it gives light for the entire solar system, whereas candle illuminates itself in order to give light. So he says that you have to live life like a sun, not like a candle. Okay. When you live life like a candle, it is a kind of exploitation. Whereas when you live life like a sun, okay, it is beneficial for yourself as well as others. Okay, so remember, when I say one has to live for one's own benefit, remember carefully, it is not that you are living for your own benefit. You should live for others also, incidentally. So when you are good, when you are performing better, it is helpful for others also. I would also like to say that whenever something is beneficial for you but not for the society, then it is a criminal act. Okay, fine. So we have done with dignity. Then we have the concept of fraternity. The word fraternity means brotherhood. The word fraternity means brotherhood. Okay, so if you find the constitution, no, the preamble, in preamble we will be finding that the word unity and integrity comes after the word fraternity. So unity, integrity, and dignity. Okay, so all these three concepts come after fraternity. The meaning is unity, integrity, and dignity can be ensured only when fraternity is there. Only when we feel that all Indians are our brothers and sisters, okay, we will be able to develop a sense of unity and integrity and ensure the dignity of all. If we are not feeling that others are our brothers and sisters, then nothing will happen. For example, at our homes, whatever happens with our brothers and sister, okay, we may fight with them, but still, we will not forsake them in the public, or we will defend them in the public. Okay, when somebody else is coming and complaining about your brother, you will defend your brother. Okay, because even though you have differences, the person is your brother or a sister. Okay, so there is a brotherhood feeling, a kind of fraternity. Okay, so automatically you will respect unity, integrity, and dignity. Okay, so these concepts are interrelated. That is the point you have to take home, drive home. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now let us have a 5 minutes break because we have completed preamble. Now we should enter into the salient features of Indian Constitution. Okay, so I understand that the topic is heavy. Okay, because the concept of unity, integrity, fraternity, dignity. Okay, these concepts are heavy. Okay, so it happens so. Okay, so I'll give you a 5 minutes of break, and then we will go into the next topic, salient features of Indian Constitution. Okay, when I say 5 minutes, exactly 5 minutes, please come after 5 minutes. Okay. Yes. Okay. So let us start the discussion. We shall talk about the salient features, okay, of Indian Constitution. So once again, I request all of you, okay, especially those who want to ask doubts, okay, you are encouraged to ask doubts, but please wait till the topic is over. For example, now I am starting federalism. Okay, so let me complete the entire discussion on federalism. Then you can start asking the doubts. Okay, so in between, you may jump to other areas and ask. Okay, but that will follow up. Okay, so allow me to complete that discussion, then I will do it. Okay, federalism. So what do we know by federalism? Okay, in case of Latin, the word FEAUS, the word fides means agreement. Okay, in English, we know that a word called as feud. Okay, the word called as feud means disagreement or conflict. So, what do you mean by federalism? We are learning federalism under polity. So, any country which is formed out of agreement is called as a federal country. Formed out of agreement. So, if you take USA, it is the example. Okay, USA is the example. There were 13 independent colonies in the North America, 13 independent colonies. Okay, so after they got independence from Great Britain, UK, they came together and formed one country. Okay, and that is called as United States of America. And the USA is an example for federal country. Okay, so federal country is one which is formed out of agreement. Okay, then we have this unitary form of government. The opposite of federal form of government is unitary form of government. Fine. Now, I gave you the example of USA, 13 independent colonies coming together and forming one country. Let us assume that you are the kings and queens, okay, of a small country, very small piece of territory. You are a king or a queen. Now you feel that to increase the strength of your small territory, you want to join with a bigger group. So you call all the neighboring kings and queens and you are establishing a one big country, United States of India or United States like that of some area. Okay, so you are trying to create a big union of all small territories. Okay, and establish a central government, okay, to govern all the small territories, to govern all the kings and queens. One top government, union government is set up, assume. Now, will you give entire powers to that central government, or will you keep some powers to you and give some powers to the central government? What will you do? I'm repeating the question. When you are a small territory and you come and form a big territory as a one whole country, okay, you have all the powers now. When you form the country, form the central government, will you give all the powers to the central government, or will you keep some powers to yourself and give only remaining to the central government? Okay. Yes, split the power. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, some people goes to the exact number also, 60% to me, 40% to the center. Very good. Okay, so we will keep as much as powers as possible to us, and remaining powers which is important for the unity of all the territories, we will give it to the central government. So that is what happened in USA. USA, the independent colonies made an agreement and they shared their power. Okay, some power was kept with the state, some power was given to the center. So a federal country is not only formed out of agreement, okay, every such agreement, okay, they will form two or more governments. There will be two or more governments. And then there is division of power. Okay. So in examination, this is the key word you should write. Okay. The word federalism means two or more governments and there is division of power. Okay. Of course, agreement between the states, that is also the meaning, but this would be more appropriate definition in mains examination. Two or more governments and there is division of powers. Division of powers between whom? Okay. So if you take India's case, we have union government. Okay. That is government in Delhi, and we have state government. Okay, likewise, we have parliament in the Delhi. Okay, so they're going to start the parliament session, and state legislative assembly. Okay, so there is a division of power. Okay, there is division of power between union government and state government. Okay, there is a division of power between parliament and the state legislative assembly. Okay, so union government deals with a separate set of areas of administration. Okay, union government deals with some subjects, okay, or areas of administration, okay, which is some of the example I would give: defense, okay, foreign policy, currency, communication, etc. Likewise, okay, state government will manage certain subjects. Okay, so they are called as, or the examples of that is police, land, agriculture, etc. Okay, so this subjects which is dealt by union government is called as union list. The subjects that is dealt by the state is called as the state list. Okay. State list. So we have union list and we have state list. The key word in federalism, is, remember, state autonomy. Meaning the state will act by itself. In matters of state list, as I told you, no? Okay, as I told you, matters of state list, the states will act independently. State government will act independently on state list. State legislative assembly will create law on state list independently. Parliament will not interfere. Likewise, union list is exclusively with the union government and parliament. State government or state legislative assembly cannot interfere. Okay, so that is what we call it as division of power and state autonomy. In federalism, the key word is state autonomy. State enjoys autonomy. It can decide for itself in matters which is listed in state list, subjects which is given in state list, like law and order, police, agriculture, health, etc., etc. Whatever has been listed, they have to manage. Central government will not interfere. Central government will not interfere. Okay. So similarly, okay. Okay, unitary form of government. Just a second, wait a second, I'll just erase them. Unitary form of government, mostly single government. Okay, mostly single government. In case of federal form of government, two or more governments. In case of unity form, mostly single government. Even if two governments are there, okay, the state government will be agent of central government. Okay, the state government will be agent of the central government. So let us talk about United Kingdom. There will be one government in London called as Government of UK. Under Government of UK, there are various state governments or provincial governments. The word state and province is one and the same. Okay, so state governments and provincial governments are there, like Government of England, Government of Wales, Government of Scotland, Government of Ireland. Okay, so we have Government of UK. Okay, under that we have Government of England, Government of Scotland, Government of Wales, Government of Northern Ireland. Okay, so these provincial governments are under Government of UK. The Government of England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland cannot take decision by themselves. There is no separate list called a state list. They have to listen to the directions that is issued by the Government of UK. The same applies for Sri Lanka also. In Sri Lanka, there is one central government. There may be government of central province, eastern province, western province, southern province, northern and northeastern province. There are 5 state governments, 5 provincial governments in case of Sri Lanka. But the state governments act according to the directions issued by the central government. They cannot act by themselves. Okay, so in case of India, remember we have 2 or more governments and there is division of power and state autonomy. That is why we call ourselves as a federal country. Whereas in unitary government, such things is not available. Okay, now the question is why India should choose federalism? Okay, very important. Why can't we stay with the unitary form of government? Okay, because we need unity. We don't want states to go away, but we have chosen federalism. Why? Okay, good. Diversity is the reason. Okay, very good. Cultural and linguistic diversity. Okay, so diversity is the reason. Very good. So every state is different. Their needs are different. If the central government alone is deciding, okay, they may not decide properly. Some states, will have to suffer. So it is better. Okay, states are given autonomy. States are allowed to decide for itself on matters which is important to it. Central government will not interfere. Okay, understood. Now let us talk about. Okay, yeah, of course. Okay, there is another person is asking. India is very big. It's a very big country, so that is why we have to go for federalism. Of course, because of the vastness of this country, we have diversity, and of course, that is resulted in choosing of federalism. Okay, fine. Now, holding together federalism and all, I will teach later when we come to union and its territory. Why we are using the word union at that time. Now, we are seeing simply the definition of federalism. Okay. So, in case of federalism, Indian federalism is unique. Okay. So, we have to learn what is uniqueness of Indian federalism. Because, okay, in case of Western federalism, the Western federalism means a country which is formed out of agreement and there is division of powers. When I say division of powers, pakka division of powers. And moreover, when I gave you scenario, when you are a king and queen, when you are sharing power, how will you share? There was one beautiful answer. One person was saying, sir, 60% I'll keep remaining 40% will be given. True. Okay, any such country which wants to come together and form a bigger nation, they will share power, but sharing of power will be minimal. Okay, in fact, 80% of the power will be retained by the states. Only 20% will be given to the central government. Okay, so that is the logic. That is what happened in USA also. In United States of America, states retained most of the powers with itself. Okay, then remaining only was given to the central government. Okay, but India's case, it is completely together, because India was a country which is not formed out of agreement. First, we created Indian country. We created India, and then for administrative convenience, we divided India into states. I repeat, we were not formed out of agreement like USA. India was created as one whole country, and then we federated. Then we created federalism. We accepted federalism, where we created central government and various states, and we said state governments have the autonomy. Okay, so Indian federalism is top-down approach. Okay, that is, we created a country and then we created the states. Okay, very good. There are 4 points, okay, that we have to learn under the uniqueness of Indian federalism. First is, Indian federalism is federalism with strong center. Second is, Indian federalism is flexible. Okay, leave some space and write. Okay, or you can take note later also. Okay. Then third is cooperative. Indian federalism is cooperative federalism. Okay, then fourth is, Indian federalism is asymmetric federalism. Okay, or we can say Indian federalism is unequal federalism. These are the 4 points. Okay, uniqueness of Indian federalism: federalism with strong center, flexible federalism, cooperative federalism, and asymmetric federalism. Okay, so why do we say Indian federalism is federalism with strong center? In countries like USA, okay, the union list will be less than the state list. Okay, or number of items in the union list. In case of India, it is around 96. Okay, right now. Okay, in case of state list, okay, it is 65. After GST, I'm saying, okay, because in goods and services tax, they took one point and they've added to concurrent list. So union list is more compared to state list. But if you see United States of America, state list will be higher and the union list very, very smaller. Okay, in India, union list is bigger, which means 96 areas is administered by the central government, which means central government is stronger than the state government. Central government has a lot of powers, but is wide powers compared to the state. So we have a strong center. And then we have concurrent list. A concurrent list is one in which central government and the state government both can make laws, okay, or implement decisions. Parliament as well as state legislative assembly can make law. So the word concurrent means the areas of administration in which both union and the state have power. Union list, only the union government and parliament. State list, only the state government and state legislative assembly. Concurrent list, both have the power. Example, education. In case of education, we have CBSE schools as well as we have the state board schools. Okay, we also have corporation schools. So for all 3 levels we have, which means it is in the concurrent list. Okay, fine. Now, whenever there is a conflict between parliamentary law and state law, which law will prevail? Whenever there is a conflict between parliamentary law and state law, normally parliament law will prevail. There are exceptions. Don't worry about the exceptions, we'll see later. But right now, whenever there is a conflict between parliamentary law and state law on the same subject, for example, education itself. Okay, a law is created by the center and state, and there is a conflict. Which one will provide? The law of the center will provide. Okay, central government's law will be provided. Okay, then there is another thing called as residual power. Okay, residual power deals with remaining areas. See, we have union list, state list, and concurrent. 3 lists we have. Okay, so if there is an area which is mentioned, or if there is an area where law should be made which is not there in 3 of the lists, for example, information technology, robotics, artificial intelligence, okay, and surrogacy. Okay, I can list out, okay, many of the new age areas of administration. Now, this new age areas of administration, if you want law to be created on that, who can create law? Parliament or state? Only parliament. And these powers are called as residual powers. Why it is called as residual power or remaining areas? Because information technology, robotics, artificial intelligence and all is not mentioned anywhere in union list, state list and concurrent list. Because in 1950, when we created the constitution, we did not envisage that these things will be there. Okay, so these are new discoveries and inventions which has come after 1980s. Okay, so they are called as residual power. So any area which is left out of any of these 3 lists, okay, the power to administer it, the power to make law in it goes to the center. Okay, but in other countries it goes to the state. That is what interesting is. In case of USA and Australia, the residual powers remains with the state. The residual powers remains with the state. But in case of India, the residual power remains with the center. That makes the Indian government, that is union government, stronger. Okay, so that is why we call federalism with strong center. Then we have Article 356. Okay, presidential rule. If the central government feels that the state government is not working properly according to the constitutional provisions, if the central government feels that the state government is not working according to the constitution, the state governments can be removed anytime, and state legislative assembly can also be dissolved. So this simple power of the central government to dissolve state government and state legislative assembly makes the center strong. Okay, so in constitution we have various provisions which gives more strength to the center. Yes, we have federalism, we have given autonomy for the states, but at the same time we want to keep the states under the control. Okay, got it? Any doubts in this? Next is flexible federalism. What do you mean by flexible? The word flexible means change. The word flexible means change. Okay, here Article 352 is there, which talks about national emergency. Okay, during the national emergency, federal form of government shifts to unitary form. Federal form of government shifts to unitary form of government. Federal form of government shifts to unitary form. In other countries and all like USA and Australia, always the country remains federal. Okay, it never shifts to unitary form. It never shifts to unitary form. Okay, federal form. It never shifts to unitary form. But in case of India, normal times India will be federal. During national emergency, it will convert or shift itself to unitary form of government. Okay, normal times it's federal. In case of emergency, national emergency, it shifts to unitary form. So that is why we call it as flexible federalism. Federalism, it can change. What is the logic? See, India for the first time is testing with federalism. In 1947, after freedom, 1950, we are establishing federalism. some of the writers of the constitution, they felt, some of the members of constitutional assembly, that federalism may lead to separatism. Okay, countries may ask for freedom like that. So that is why they added one feature called as national emergency. In case if there is an emergency, if a country is going to be separated, okay, if states are going to declare independence, at that time national emergency can be declared, and state governments will be taken under the control of central government. Okay, so in normal time, state governments will have autonomy, while unitary form of government is there. State government will become the agent of central government. No more state government will enjoy autonomy. So the state's power to declare, or state cannot declare emergency and go out of the country. Remember, states does not have the right to cede from our India. States has no right to cede from India. Got it? So that is the meaning of flexible federalism. Okay, fine. Okay, so one person asked, sir, there can be amendments made and changes can be made in the constitution. Can be an example of flexible. That is flexible constitution. Here it is, we are calling as flexible federalism. When we can change the constitution, we call it as flexible constitution. That is also character of the constitution, Indian constitution. But here we're talking about federalism. The federalism is also flexible. When you say federalism is flexible, it means, okay, it means from federal form to unitary form. Okay. So one person asked, that state has no right, state has no right to cede, CEDE, cede from India. Okay, cede means it cannot go and form a separate country. Okay, so one person has asked, state has no right to cede, CEDE from India. Okay, fine. Now NDMA is a flexible federalism because center took control over the state. See, remember, okay, in case of national emergency, state completely comes under the center. That is flexible federalism. That is from federal to complete unitary form. Now, in case of epidemic, under National Disaster Management Act, okay, the central government can give guidelines to control the pandemic. Okay, so in that area alone, state government has to listen to the directions of the central government. In other areas, state is still autonomous. So during a disaster, or sorry, during epidemic like corona, when NDMA Act is invoked, it doesn't mean that the Indian government is converting from federalism to unitary form of government. Because when I say unitary form, in all spheres, in all areas, state government will become an agent of central government. State government will have no autonomy at all. Okay, during pandemic, only in terms of controlling the pandemic, it listens to the central government. Okay, so converting union territory and presidential rule. Okay, there is a converting state to a union territory and presidential rule that we will discuss when we come to union and its territory. Okay, so in USA, can states cede from USA? So in India as well as US, in both countries, states cannot cede. Okay, states cannot go out of the union. Okay, there are some similarities also. So in case of ceding of states, United States and India same. States cannot cede from the union. Center can be dismissed under Article 356. No, only the state government can be discussed under 356. And 356 is presidential rule, Article 356. Okay, that is one of the provisions of Indian Constitution, Article 356. Okay. Okay, all India services will be explained later. Okay, when we come to the other area, right now, no. Okay, Indian federalism inspired from USA. Okay, from USA only we have inspired from. Okay, and Indian federalism can be equated to the Canadian model of federalism. Okay, some of you ask, okay, what is where we have inspired federalism from? US federalism is the base, but we have modeled along with the Canadian federalism. Okay, so more or less we can say. Okay, what are the situations in which national emergency can be declared? Emergency, separate topic. SIA and 2074090. You are saying, sir, can you take doubts after completing federalism topic? I've dealt with 2 unique points. Okay, I'm explaining them and I'll go. I'm just taking 4 minutes of time for explanation. I'm looking at the clock and explaining to you. Okay, so wait. Okay, wait. There, see, the students must think that you may think that you have understood everything only when questions are asked. When somebody else is asking a relevant question, okay, you will be knowing. Okay. Nothing wrong in waiting for 2 or 3 minutes. But then when you ask doubt, others will not wait. Keep that in mind. Cooperative federalism. Yes. Cooperative federalism. Okay. So cooperation between central government and state government. Central and state government. Central and state government. Okay. And then the one more thing I wanted to say, okay, that in book Lakshmikant, they would have given 4 or 5 lines only. Okay, seeing that you may think that the class is going very in detail, etc. and all. Okay, the point is everything in Lakshmikant is repeated. If you say the same federalism which is given in 5 lines, one full lesson is there in federalism, and center-state relation is there. And if you go inside the topics, many things will be there. Okay, so we are creating a foundation. So when we are creating a foundation, please listen, okay, to multiple things so that the future classes will be easier for you. Otherwise, doubts will never be cleared. You keep on get confused in polity. Okay. So things are told elaborately so as to create a strong foundation. That's all. Then in case of cooperative, central and state government, both should cooperate, and cooperative federalism is opposite to competitive federalism. Competitive federalism. Okay. What do you understand by competitive federalism? Usually there will be tug of war between union government and state government, or I should say conflict between union government and state government. Conflict between union government and state government. You take the example of GST, goods and services tax. The union government want to take the power of the state government. Until GST, the sales tax for goods were collected by the state government. Sales tax for goods. Supposing you are buying, you are selling a mobile phone. Okay, the sales tax for it will be collected by the state government and used by it. But now after GST, the sales tax will be collected by the center and will be shared between center and state. That is why GST compensation. Recently in news they're saying now GST compensation. Earlier, whatever collected by state, now it's collected by center. So state is asking, okay, give us our share. Okay, you have taken the power to collect tax through the GST. Now please give our share is what the states are asking for. Okay, fine. Now GST, the central government wanted to take state power. State government defended. Government of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Gujarat, they were kept saying that no, we will not allow this GST. We don't agree with this GST because they were losers, which means they will lose a lot of revenue. Okay, so this action of central government trying to take the power of state government defending. Here, there is power conflict. Who is to have what?
What we have decided is we will continue, that is, we will run parallelly, that is 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock. Both the batches will have same subjects for another 2 months till end of your CSAT. Okay, so those who enrolled for morning 8 o'clock batch and those who are attending in now 11 o'clock, so you can continue in the same batch, no problem at all. We will ensure like no one will miss any class. Okay, and but after once the CSAT is over, then you can change to morning 8 o'clock batch. Okay, 8 o'clock GS. So at the time there will not be any problem. Okay, probably by October end or November first week, you can change. Okay, and regarding offline classes, I am getting hundreds of inquiry regarding offline class. Really, I don't know. Again, as government told, God only knows about this. Okay, so I don't know. So see, some the senior officers and all, they are saying those who are involved in the COVID management. So they are saying like probably till next March it will continue, but I'm not sure. Maybe we are expecting probably after December they will open, but I'm not sure about anything this. So we can continue classes. So now you attend at 11 o'clock GS and 8 o'clock CSAT. Once CSAT is over, you can change. So at the time, we will give you option for changing. And syllabus, the portion will be same for 8 o'clock batch as well as 11 o'clock batch. That I will ensure. Okay? Don't worry. So, and if you have any doubt, you text me in my WhatsApp number. I hope all of you are having my number. You text me, I will reply. Okay. So now I don't want to disturb class. Okay. And the test also, we will as per schedule, we will conduct test, but the test will be available for another almost 1 year till end of, that is till 25th of June next year. The test portal will be available. Okay. So based on your convenient time, you can take test, preliminary testing portal. So main test also will give you some extra time. And so many students requested for break for your semester examination. What we have decided is like we will conduct some non-subjects class, like some current affairs and essay writing and the topper stock, like that. We will manage for 5 days. Okay, we have planned for giving 5 days break for your semester. Semester அவ்வளவுதான் தேவை, அதுக்கு மேல தேவைப்படுமா என்ன? நீங்களும் முதல் நாள் படிச்சுட்டு அடுத்த நாள் எக்ஸாம் எழுதுற குரூப் தானே. So you know, so better you plan now itself accordingly. Okay, so that once government is giving semester dates, we will decide accordingly, probably after September 15th. Okay, so we will address all your issues because your comfort is very important for us. So don't worry. Only based on your request, we have changed the batch. We have splitted batch. Otherwise, you would have continued with the same 11 o'clock batch itself. Okay. Thank you. So if you have anything, you text me. I hope you have my number. Otherwise, you take my number 95 66 06 2776. Again, I will repeat 95 66 06 2776. Okay. So you text me Definitely I will reply. And I hope you will receive material this week itself. So you can collect in your nearest branch, and we are making arrangement for sending courier also. So it will take one more week extra for those who want to receive in courier. Okay. Thank you so much. So please don't call me, better you text me, because I will be from this week onwards. I will be completely in class. I cannot attend any call. Please text me. Thank you.
Sumati ma'am, book விஷயம்.
Okay, fine. Yeah, Arvind.
Sir, continue பண்ணலாம் சார்.
இந்த ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் ஹேண்ட் ரைஸ் பண்றாங்க பாருங்க. அவர் சந்துரு சார்ட்ட கேட்கறதுக்கு தான் நினைக்கிறேன் டவுட் இல்லையா?
அதான் சார் அவர் வந்து டெக்ஸ்ட் பண்ண சொல்லிட்டாரு சார்.
Okay, those who are raising hand, if you have any doubts, okay, please. Okay, fine. Very good. Okay, so for competitive federalism, one person has in chat box has given a very good example. The central government wanted to privatize the airport, and Kerala government has passed a resolution telling that we will not. Okay, so what is the governments will not think what is good for the country, rather there will be so much obsessed with power difference. Okay, in my view, okay, already the central government had enough consultations with the state government. Okay, and also it allowed the state government to go for a bid. Okay, after all these things, once again the state government is coming and telling that we will not give it to the center or privatize. Is not good in my view. Okay, anyway, these are examples of competitive federalism. Good. When we wrote our constitution, we did not want the competitive federalism. So whenever there is a conflict between central government and state government, okay, we created some mechanisms in constitution itself. Okay, under center state relation, there is a chapter called as center state relation chapter. Okay, central state relation chapter. Okay, so this chapter deals with how to resolve conflicts between the union government and state government. Because of the presence of this chapter, it is called as cooperative federalism. Okay, so cooperative federalism. Okay, our prime minister, whenever he mentions competitive federalism, okay, he's referring to a different meaning. He says competition between state. Okay, but when it comes to competitive federalism, which is opposite to cooperative federalism, it is competition between the union government and state government. Okay, so what is cooperative federalism? Cooperative federalism is cooperation between central government and state government. And how cooperation? By avoiding the conflict, we are going for cooperation. How do we avoid conflict? By center state relations chapter. Okay. Then asymmetric federalism or unequal federalism. Why we have unequal federalism? Okay. Okay, the Rajya Sabha representation is not the same. It's unequal. Rajya Sabha representation is unequal. Okay, next, okay, some special status is there. Jammu and Kashmir had special status, they has abolished it. Okay, now we have northeastern states. Okay, any northeastern states and states like Gujarat, okay, Maharashtra, Karnataka. Okay, they have some special status. Okay, what is the special status? We will discuss later. Okay, but right now, remember they have a special status, so they are unequal. Okay, one example I will give. Okay, Karnataka, Maharashtra, and Gujarat has a backward region. For example, Maharashtra, we have Vidarbha region. In case of Gujarat, we have the Kutch region and the Saurashtra region. In case of Karnataka, northern Karnataka is there, and okay, Karnataka, Hyderabad region, or otherwise called as Kalyan Karnataka. The region called as Kalyan. Recently, it is named. Okay, Karnataka, Hyderabad region. So that region is quite backward. So now, in order to empower this region, okay, to provide welfare for these people, the amount that should be spent on their socio-economic development, I'll repeat, the amount that should be spent on their socio-economic development will be decided by governor, not by the chief minister. Okay, this is one example. There are a lot of other things, and we will see in detail what is special status of these states later. We have a separate class for that. But since not all states are equal, some states are given a higher status, special status. We have an unequal federalism. So remember, in India, we don't have an equal federalism. We have an unequal federalism. Okay, so what are the four types of federalism? Four uniqueness of Indian federalism. Indian federalism is federalism with strong center. We have a flexible federalism. We have a cooperative federalism, and we have an unequal federalism. Okay. Okay, so this is done. Okay, so we have done with the federalism topic. Okay, so when we meet in the next class, we will be talking about the parliamentary form of government. Okay, so now we will go for doubts. We are winding up the class. Okay, so those who want to stay in the doubt clarification session can stay. Okay, so I'll be first dealing with the hand raises. Okay, better you raise question through hand raise and I will answer. Okay, and then we can go for the remaining chat based questions. Thank you. Yeah, there are 4 participants. Yes, I don't have name. Yeah, please.
Hello. Hello, sir. I'm Arun, sir.
Arun, yes,
Sir, for recent ஸ்ரீலங்கன் இஷ்யூ வந்து நியூஸ் பேப்பர்ல அடிக்கடி வந்துட்டே இருக்குல்ல சார், அந்த கான்ஸ்டியூஷன் சேஞ்ச் பண்றது.
எஸ்.
ஸோ அது வந்து சார் அது எப்படி சார் நான் யூபிஎஸ்சி கிளிக் பண்ணி படிக்கிறது? அது எது சார் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட்?
அது வந்து பைலேட்டரல் ரிலேஷன்ல ஒரு பாயிண்ட், பைலேட்டரல் ரிலேஷன் சப்ஜெக்ட்ல ஒரே ஒரு என்னன்னா தமிழ் பீப்புளுக்கும் முஸ்லிம் பீப்புளுக்கும் பொலிட்டிக்கல் ரெப்ரசன்டேஷன் கொடுக்குறாங்களா இல்லையா, அதுதான். ராஜபக்ஷ பொறுத்த அளவுக்கு வந்து முன்னாடி இருந்தப்போ தெளிவா சொல்லிட்டாரு, he will not give that power. Okay, because he is a majoritarian government, he wants to give priority to Sinhalese. But however in the constitutional amendmentல என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா provincial autonomy கொடுங்க, ஃபெடரலிசமா மாத்துங்க ஸ்ரீலங்காவன்னு கேட்டுட்டு இருக்காங்க.
ஓகே.
சோ அந்த பாயிண்ட் மட்டும் நீங்க எழுதலாம். அது என்னன்னா இந்தியா ஆல்சோ வாண்ட்ஸ் ஃபெடரலிசம், ஸ்ரீலங்கால ஃபெடரலிசம் இருக்கணும். யுனைடெட் ஸ்ரீலங்காக்குள்ள தமிழ் பீப்புளுக்கு சம் ரைட்ஸ் வேணும், பொலிட்டிக்கல் ரைட்ஸ் வேணும்னா இந்தியன் கவர்மெண்ட் யோசிக்குது. சோ அந்த ஒரு பாயிண்ட் நீங்க ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கிட்டாலே போதும் எக்ஸாம்க்கு. அதை தவிர்த்து கேட்க மாட்டாங்க. அந்த இன்டெப்தா
ப்ரொஃபஷனல் ரெப்ரசன்டேஷன் சிஸ்டம் பத்தி எப்படி சார் நீங்க செப்பரேட்டா கிளாஸ் இருக்குமா சார், இல்ல நாங்க
எதை பத்தி
ப்ரொஃபஷனல் ரெப்ரசன்டேஷன் சிஸ்டம் சார், ப்ரொஃபஷனல் ரெப்ரசன்டேஷன் சிஸ்டம் சார், அவங்களோட சார் அவங்க பார்லிமெண்ட் சிஸ்டம் இருக்குல்ல சார்.
ஆமா
சார், அதை பத்தி ஏதாவது கேட்பாங்க சார் யூபிஎஸ்சில? இல்ல
ஸ்ரீலங்கன் பார்லிமெண்டரி சிஸ்டம் கேக்குறீங்களா?
எஸ் சார், எஸ் சார். அவங்க சிஸ்டம் இருக்குல்ல சார்.
ஆமா, இல்ல அது கேட்க மாட்டாங்க, ஏன்னா இந்தியாவுக்கும் அதுக்கும் சம்பந்தமே இல்ல.
ஓகே சார், ஓகே.
ஒன்னே என்ன கேட்குவாங்க அப்படின்னா, இப்போ அங்க வந்து செமி பிரசிடென்ஷியல் சிஸ்டம், ஒன்னு பிரைம் மினிஸ்டர் ஒருத்தர், பிரசிடென்ட் ஒருத்தர். ஸோ அதனால எப்படி நம்ம ரிலேஷன் பாதிக்கப்படுதுன்னு வேணா கொஸ்டின் வரலாம். இப்ப வந்து பாதிக்கப்படாது, ஏன்னா 2 பேருமே பிரதர்ஸ். ராஜபக்ஷா, கோத்தபய ராஜபக்ஷாவும் மஹிந்த ராஜபக்ஷா 2 பேருமே வந்து பிரதர்ஸ், அதனால ஒரே மாதிரி முடிவு எடுப்பாங்க. முன்னாடி வந்து பான்சேகாவும் விக்ரமசின்ஹா இருந்தாங்க இல்லையா, பிரசிடென்ட் ஆஃப் பிரைம் மினிஸ்டர், அவங்க 2 பேரும் வேற பார்ட்டி. ஸோ அதனால வந்து ஒருத்தர் விக்ரமசின்ஹா வந்து இந்தியா கூட நல்ல ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் வச்சுக்கணும்னு நினைப்பாரு, பான்சேகா வந்து இல்ல அலோவ் பண்ண முடியாதுன்ற மாதிரி பேசிட்டு இருப்பாரு. ஸோ அந்த செமி பிரசிடென்ஷியல் சிஸ்டமான நமக்கு பிரச்சனை. ஸோ அப்போ வந்து அவங்களோட அந்த செமி பிரசிடென்ஷியல் சிஸ்டம் வந்து எப்படி நம்ம இந்தியா ஸ்ரீலங்கா ரிலேஷன்ஸை பாதிக்குதுன்னு கொஸ்டின் கேட்பாங்களே தவிர்த்து வேற எதுவுமே இருக்காது. ஓகே, ஸோ ஃபார் தோஸ் ஓகே ஃப்ரம் நான் தமிழ் ஸ்பீக்கிங் ஆர் ஃப்ரம் அதர் ஸ்டேட்ஸ், okay, his question was Sri Lanka's parliamentary form of government, whether it should be studied. Don't worry, the semi-presidential system of Sri Lanka is affecting India-Sri Lanka relation, because if president is from one party, prime minister is from one party, definitely there is going to be a conflict, because president has more powers in Sri Lanka compared to Indian president. Okay, so that area can be asked. And devolution of power to Tamils, Indian government wants a united Sri Lanka. Within united Sri Lanka, they want rights for Tamils and Muslims in Sri Lanka. Okay, so that area can be asked as a question, what is India's stand? Otherwise, you need not worry about the entire constitution of Sri Lanka. Fine. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So next 1056 just now spoke. Yes. Yeah, please unmute and speak now.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Sir, my doubt is regarding recent current affairs, sir.
Yeah, please.
In that, recently, Supreme Court has passed a judgment now, sir, that states can identify subcaste within the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Sir, could that be seen as a divide and rule policy, sir, or something majority-minority conflict would it lead to, sir? Whether it can be taken into account, sir?
Actually, okay, according to the constitution, who can create the scheduled caste list? President only. It's called as a presidential list. He can create it in the year 1950. After that, okay, any changes in the scheduled caste list can be done by a parliamentary law. Okay, so that is how scheduled caste list is created. Some states like Tamil Nadu has created subcategorization. Like, you know, in Tamil Nadu, we have 3 categories of scheduled caste like Pallars, Parayars, and Arundhatiyars. The then DMK government under Karunanidhi has given sub quota or subcategorization and said Arundhatiyars will have special. Okay, because they were not getting into the government. Okay, so this is the same idea Supreme Court has been voicing. Supreme Court has been telling that reservation is benefiting one community alone. The backward or the very lower section of the SCs themselves are not getting benefit. And that said, Supreme Court has now declared that okay, fine, you guys can have subcategorization. The states can have subcategorization because, as per Constitution, the states cannot add new caste into scheduled caste. But already existing scheduled caste which has not had due representation, if you are giving the benefit, that is not at all wrong. And that is the recent court's judgment. Okay, however, it will be reviewed anyway. They have passed it to a higher bench. Okay, but the logic is they are not adding any new caste into the scheduled caste, and so it is absolutely constitutional.
Sir, would it lead to divide and rule, sir, majority-minority conflict within the caste, sir? If such kind of judgment is passed?
No, actually, we can talk about divide and rule only when the executive is doing it. Okay, the judiciary has given this judgment because somebody has filed the case. So judiciary's intention is not divide and rule, but to give justice, to assess whether it is constitutional or not. Okay, so when judiciary does it, okay, consciously it is not divide and rule. If you ask me whether it will be resulting in divide and rule policy, in a way it may. Okay, in vote bank politics it may. That is why in the initially in 1950 what they said is the scheduled caste list should be drawn by central government. If you are allowing it to draw the state governments to say who is a SC, who is not an SC, for vote bank politics, every other group will be made as a SC, right? Okay, so that was the intention of the constitution. So I agree that in case of giving subcategorization, there is a chance that vote bank politics may be played. But however, considering the social position of the lowest of lower caste, that is among SCs itself, Arundhatiyars or some other communities are lower, they must be given some kind of constitutional protection, right? Okay, so when it comes to this point, okay, vote bank politics versus social justice, that is the question. Okay, whether we are going to address the problem of vote bank politics or whether we are going to address the problem of social justice. When two things is coming, I think social justice has to prevail. Right? We have a dilemma situation. Two are important. One is vote bank politics should be avoided. This side social justice has to be provided. So when we compare, it is better to do social justice even if it is creating vote bank politics. We will compromise with vote bank politics for the purpose of social justice.
Okay, sir. Sir, my next doubt is regarding cooperative federalism, sir.
Yes.
Sir, recently GST is termed as coercive federalism, sir, and not cooperative. Why are they terming like that, sir?
GST is called as cooperative federalism.
No, sir. In editorials, they are telling that cooperative federalism is being termed as coercive federalism in case of in the current GST compensation issue, sir.
Actually, the word quasi-federalism means it is a Western thinker's opinion on India. They've said it is quasi-federalism because India is a federalism with strong center. Okay, so we can say that whenever cooperation is lacking, okay, Indian federalism is affected. Okay, so quasi-federalism is a word to say that India is partially federal. That's it.
No, sir, not quasi, sir. Coercive, sir. COERCIV, sir.
Coercive. You are saying coercive.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is the opinion of the media. Okay, the newspapers are saying it's coercive federalism because the central government is saying we will not give you the compensation. Okay, actually the central government has promised that it will give compensation. Because of that only states agreed, okay, we agree with GST. Now the central government is reversing, so that is why it has been commented as coercive, forceful. The word coercive means forcing federalism. You are forcing the states to accept certain decisions. Okay,
That's all. Thank you, sir.
Next. 81862399.
No, sir, I asked my doubt, sir. Need to.
Just now. Okay, fine.
Yes.
Vimalanathan.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. And my doubt is regarding that cooperative federalism and competitive federalism, sir. Is competitive federalism good, sir?
Competitive federalism is competition between union and state government. The union government will try to take the power of state government, and state government will resist it. Okay, so that is what we call it as competitive federalism.
Yes, sir. When I was going through some articles, it was something like the state also competes with the center as well as with the other states for the power. And they are saying that competitive federalism is good for the development of each and every state so that they can attract the investments in that state and they can prosper. So they are projecting it as a positive future, sir, competitive federalism. Should we write like that in our mains, or should we say that competitive federalism is not good, it's bad something?
In class I told that the prime minister and the government, when they're using the word competitive federalism, they're giving it different meaning. They're talking about competition between states, state of Karnataka, state of Tamil Nadu, like that. The definition you gave now. Okay. The thing is, you have to understand the meaning of the word in context. Supposing they're asking a question, explain cooperative federalism. In that question, you have to write competitive federalism means competition between center and state. Supposing they're asking a question like this, GST Council, whether it is a cooperative federalism or competitive federalism, NITI Aayog, whether it's an institution of cooperative federalism or competitive federalism, there you have to write these institutions are institutions of competitive federalism, meaning they try to enhance the competition between states, between state of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Gujarat, UP, like that. Okay, thereby it becomes a positive future. Okay, so it depends. In constitution, if they ask you to explain cooperative federalism, then the meaning changes of competitive federalism. Because at that time when they wrote constitution, competitive federalism means competition between union and state. When they're asking about present day institutions and asking about competitive federalism, you should give the meaning that competitive federalism is competition between states.
Yes, sir. And when you are explaining about the unequal federalism, sir, you said that Rajya Sabha representation, no, sir?
Yeah.
During that time, my network connection was not proper, so that one point I will say, sir, regarding the Rajya Sabha representation.
When I say unequal representation, bigger states like UP will have more number of seats in Rajya Sabha. States like Tamil Nadu will have less. For example, UP has 40 seats, Tamil Nadu has only 18 seats. If you take Goa, Mizoram and all, only 1 seat in Rajya Sabha. So
yes, sir, got it, sir.
All the states does not have equal seats. Okay, states have differential seats. That is why we say it is an unequal federalism, because all states does not have same say. And Rajya Sabha is the council of states, representative of states. States' views are heard. Okay, so that is why we say it is unequal federalism.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. 206600. Please unmute. Yeah.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, could you please explain 42 Amendment Act 1976 once again?
Come again.
42 Amendment Act 1976.
1942, 42nd Amendment Act 1976, they added the word socialism. Along with that, some other changes was made in 42nd Amendment Act, which you will see later. As of now, the word socialism, secularism, and integrity was added by that amendment. That is the significance.
சார் பட் இதுல வந்து நீங்க ஸ்டேட்டுக்கு வந்து பவர் இருக்குன்னு சொன்னீங்களா சார்? ஸ்டேட்டால டிசைட் பண்ண முடியும்.
அது அப்புறம் பாத்துக்கலாம். அப்புறம் அமெண்ட்மெண்ட் சாப்டர் வரும்போது அதை பத்தி எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுவோம்.
சரி ஓகே சார். அப்புறம் நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன் வந்து யூனியன் லிஸ்ட் ஸ்டேட் லிஸ்ட்னு சொன்னீங்களா சார்? 96 வந்து யூனியன் லிஸ்ட் 96 இருக்கு, ஸ்டேட் லிஸ்ட் 65 இருக்குன்னு.
உங்க வாய்ஸ் கொஞ்சம் தெளிவா இல்ல, கொஞ்சம் மெதுவா பேசுங்களேன். கொஞ்சம் மெதுவா பேசுனீங்கன்னா கேட்கும்.
சார் இப்போ ஓகே சார்?
இப்போ ஓகே, இப்போ ஓகே
சார். இப்போ யூனியன் லிஸ்ட் ஸ்டேட் லிஸ்ட்னு சொன்னீங்களா சார்?
ஆமா.
அது எப்படி சார் ஸ்ப்ளிட் பண்றாங்க?
ஓகே, எதெல்லாம் வந்து யூனிஃபார்மிட்டி தேவையோ, என்டையர் கண்ட்ரிக்கும் காமனா இருக்கோ அதெல்லாம் யூனியன் லிஸ்ட். ஓகே, எதெல்லாம் வந்து ஸ்டேட்டுக்கு இதாகுதோ, ஐ மீன் டைவர்சிட்டி தேவைப்படுது, அந்தந்த ஸ்டேட்டை டிசைட் பண்ணிக்கணும்னு யோசிச்சாங்களோ அந்த சப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் ஸ்டேட் லிஸ்ட் கொடுத்தாங்க. ஸோ இதை டிசைட் பண்ணது கான்ஸ்டியூண்ட் அசம்பிளி. கான்ஸ்டியூண்ட் அசம்பிளியில வச்சு டிசைட் பண்ணாங்க. So whichever subjects which require uniformity will be in union list. Whichever subject which requires diversity will be put in the state list.
Okay, sir. Understood.
Okay. Yes, Prasanna, Prabha. Prasanna has gone. Prabha. Okay, Prabha is not there. Okay. Okay, chat boxes. Better you come. Okay, Kesavananda Bharati case will be taken. Basic structure doctrine, Kesavananda Bharati case. In future class, we will be dealing with it. If one state party is part of central government, it feels that central government not giving proper attention to their state, they withdraw from the central government and central ruling party lost its majority. What this is called, sir? We don't have any name for that, but central government has to go and new government has to be formed. Okay, so it is a political process. We don't have any specific name for that. Okay, but central the act of the state party coming out of the central government, okay, will lead to no confidence motion. Okay, so that is there. One person asked what is 352, 356. In Article 352, state government will be there and cooperate with the central government. In Article 356, presidential rule, the state government and state legislative assembly will be dissolved. That is the main difference. In 352, state government, state legislative assembly will be there. 356, they will go. Okay, so that is the difference. During emergency, presidential rule is exercised in India. Yes, there is a possibility. Okay, there is a possibility. Cooperative federalism and competitive federalism, when it was created during the time of constitution, it was opposite. But the meaning given by the prime minister and the present government for competitive federalism, that is competition between states, okay, is not opposite to cooperative federalism. It is complementary to cooperative federalism. NE, one person has asked, what is NE? NE means Northeast. Okay, in India, some competitive federalism is controlled by center-state relation. One person has asked, do India have competitive federalism? There are instances of competitive federalism which is offset by center-state relation. No, in May, one person has asked, sir, can we write GST is a failure model? Okay, don't write like that. You can say that GST needs improvement. Okay, it is actually a very good reform, but it was done in a wrong way. So we have to make improvements. Like that only we have to answer. Okay. So I think I've answered all your questions. Okay. There is a question, sir. Should we know all the subjects in state and union list, or just what is in current affairs? What is in current affairs that is required? Okay, so 2066, you have raised your hand but not able to ask. Okay, come, no, come, you ask. Just unmute you. Yeah, you're still hand raised. Yes, I have unmuted you, please. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, இந்த ஃபெடரேஷன் வித் ஸ்ட்ராங் சென்டர்னு இருக்குல்ல சார், அதுல ரெசிடுவல் பவர் இருக்குல்ல சார். சார் இதே இது 1919ல நமக்கு ரெசிடுவல் பவர்னு ஒன்று வந்திருக்குல்ல சார். 1919ல மாண்டேக்யூ செம்ஸ் போட்டிருக்கோம்.
வைஸ்ராய்க்கு ரெசிடுவல் பவர் டு தி வைஸ்ராய்.
அது என்ன சார்? அது ரெசிடுவல் அல்லது கன்கரண்ட் லிஸ்ட் அப்படின்னு சார் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க.
இல்ல அதான் அப்பயும் மீனிங் ஒன்னே தான். ரெசிடுவல் பவர்னா எதெல்லாம் லிஸ்ட்ல இல்லையோ அந்த லிஸ்ட்ல இல்லாதது வந்து ரிமைனிங் பவர்ஸ், அது வந்து ரெசிடுவல் பவர்னுவாங்க. நம்ம இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸ்க்கு அப்புறம் ரெசிடுவல் பவர் வந்து சென்ட்ரல் பார்லிமெண்ட்டுக்கும் கவர்மெண்ட்டுக்கும் கொடுத்துருக்கோம். 1919ல அது வைஸ்ராய் கொடுப்பாங்க. வைஸ்ராய்ன்றது யாரு? ஹெட் ஆஃப் இந்தியன் பிரிட்டிஷ் கவர்மெண்ட். அவர் ஒரு பிரிட்டிஷாலா இருப்பாப்ல, பிரிட்டிஷ் வைஸ்ராய். கவர்னர் ஜெனரல் ஆஃப் இந்தியாவுக்கு பதிலாக வைஸ்ராய் மாறுறாங்களா 1858ல. ஸோ அந்த வைஸ்ராய் கிட்டே இருக்கும். ஸோ ஒரு தனி மனிதன் வந்து இதை கிரியேட் பண்ணுவாங்க. ரெசிடுவல் பவர்ஸ்ல இருக்க மேட்டர்ஸ்க்கு லெஜிஸ்லேட் பண்றதும் அட்மினிஸ்ட்ரேட்டும் பண்ணுவாங்க.
ஓகே சார். சார் அப்புறம் குவாசி ஃபெடரலிசம் என்ன சார்? இந்தியா வந்து குவாசி ஃபெடரல் அப்படின்னு தமிழ்நாட்டுக்கு பொலிட்டி புக்ல பார்த்தா சார்.
குவாசி ஃபெடரலிசம்னா பாதி, பார்ஷியல் ஃபெடரலிசம்னு அர்த்தம்.
அப்ப நம்ம ஒன்னும் ஒரு ஃபுல்லான ஒரு கோஆபரேஷன் இல்லை அப்படின்னு அர்த்தமா சார்?
அதாவது என்ன அர்த்தம்னா, வெஸ்டர்ன் ஃபெடரலிசம் இருக்கு இல்லையா, யூஎஸ் மாதிரி நம்ம கிடையாதுன்னு சொல்றதுக்காக அப்படி குவாசி ஃபெடரலிசம்ன்றாங்க. ஏன்னா ஃபுல் ஃபெடரலிசமா இருந்தா ஸ்டேட்டுக்கு அதிக பவர் இருக்கணும், ரெசிடுவல் பவர்ஸ் வந்து ஸ்டேட் கிட்ட இருக்கணும், ஸ்டேட் லிஸ்ட் அதிகமா இருக்கணும், கன்கரண்ட் லிஸ்ட்ல ஸ்டேட்டோட சே அதிகமா இருக்கணும். பட் நமக்கு இது எல்லாமே ஆப்போசிட் இல்லையா? ஸோ நம்ம வந்து என்ன சொல்லிக்கிறோம், நம்மள ஃபெடரலிசம் வித் ஸ்ட்ராங் சென்டர்னு ஒரு பாசிட்டிவா சொல்லிக்கிறோம். வெஸ்டர்னர்ஸ் நம்மள சொல்லும் போது நம்மள வந்து குவாசி ஃபெடரல்ன்றாங்க. நீங்க ஃபுல்லா ஃபெடரல் கிடையாது, நீங்க பாதி தான் ஃபெடரல், சென்டர் வந்து ஸ்ட்ராங்கா இருக்கும்.
ஓகே சார், தேங்க் யூ.
ஓகே, ஃபைன் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ். Okay, dear students. Okay, fine. We will meet in the next class. Yes, there is one more for Vadivel Sundar. Okay. முடிக்கும் போது கை தூக்காதீங்க, கை முன்னாடியே தூக்கி வச்சிட்டீங்கன்னா கொஞ்சம் வசதியா இருக்கும் டக்கு டக்குன்னு மாத்துறதுக்கு. சொல்லுங்க வடிவேல். எஸ், வடிவேல் சுந்தர் ப்ளீஸ். பேசுங்க வடிவேல் சுந்தர். Vadivel Sundar, are you there? நீ unmute. Vadivel Sundar. ஓகே, டன். ஓகே, நாளைக்கு இப்போ உங்க வாய்ஸ் கேட்க மாட்டேங்குது, நாளைக்கு கூட கேட்டுங்க நெக்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ்ல, சரிங்களா? ஓகே, டன். See you guys. Bye bye.